Hello everybody, I hope I'm audible right now and welcome back my live. Definitely. So welcome back and let's simply get started working on the Xcali drop-down app again. So as for right now, let me just simply get the things set up, done, and that's it. That is it. Okay, so what are we supposed to do right now? We had some of the to-dos. First of all, this is the one that we have. When he scaled and added a text, font size of the text should not change. So whenever we are adding the text, so at that time what are we doing? There are quite a few things. So we have to resize the text area as per the font size. That's the first thing. So whatever the font size is, the size of the text area should be like that only. So that's sort of possible to do. It's not that much difficult. And as we sorry, and as we add the text, the size doesn't increase because of the scaling, right? So how can we fix this? Even if the screen is scaled, the size of the text is fixed. That simply means that whenever we add it, we subtract the scale. That is the only thing we do. So as soon as I added this, I'm gonna be subtracting the scale so that it remains the same. Now the thing is that how do we scale it? So whatever the scale is, we just simply multiply it, right, to get the font size. So if I'm not wrong, I need to divide it by the scale. So whenever we are saving it, so by default scale is 1, so we need to divide it by that all the time. So let me see if it actually works or not. So we have these hooks over here, we have text editing, of course we are saving the text over here. When we are actually saving the text, we need to set the shapes, and as we are setting the shapes, so especially when we are saving it and when we are saving the font size, so at that time what do we have to do? Especially while saving it, font size is gonna be divided by scale, and now do we have this scale over here? And it turns out yes. So now what will happen? Of course we have to run this one day. I think it's gonna take time to just simply compile or what. Okay, it's quick. Okay, so what is the next thing? The next thing is that's simply adding this. And we are able to, you can edit it, that is really good. And apart from this particular thing, if we just simply zoom it, and now if I try to start adding it, as expected it worked, but there is only one thing, that as we had the zoom level, so something's up. Let me delete this first of all. What is this? Oh my god. The coordinates of this eraser, they are not the canvas coordinates. Is that so? So when I implemented this canvas eraser in here, on pointer down move erase, I had the points, and where did I get these points from? they were the endpoints, right? So let me see, interactions and on pointer move, when it was equals to select, not even select actually, eraser. At that time we passed the endpoint, that is right. So the coordinates that I'm actually passing, they are nothing but the endpoints, and hence it will be problematic. So just a sec, give me a moment. Okay, so let's just simply continue from here on. So what I was just simply saying that just a minute, hang on for a sec. I'm actually live, so I cannot really go. Okay, so what we were saying, that in get in type over here, the points that we are getting, they are the hit testing for lines relatively here. So they are the screen points, and we have to convert them into canvas points. So in that case, const canvas point is going to be equals to get screen to canvas coordinates. We have to pass screen x, that's nothing but screen x, that's point dot x, and we have screen y, that's point dot y. We have canvas. Do we have canvas here? Yeah, we do have that. Pan offset, not sure, but let's see. Scale and scale offset. Okay, let's see how many things we have. It turns out I don't even have canvas. Interesting. We have ctx ref, so we have the whole context. Interesting. But I don't just need the context, right? So use canvas eraser. Where is this being used? Inside this one for sure. And canvas eraser, instead of passing the context, it's better to pass both. I'm gonna be passing context ref as well as the canvas ref. So both are actually being passed. Coming back to this, canvas ref object, and this is gonna be HTML canvas element, or it can be null for sure. Once this is done, then over here const canvas, that's gonna be canvas ref dot current. And if I don't have canvas, and in case if I have the canvas, I'm gonna be passing, and we have to get pan set, pan offset and all. So let's just simply get these from probably U shape. So let's do one thing. Everything as is stored, and once this is done, so store dot this, ultimately I need to prepend store everywhere wherever I'm getting the states. And now next thing is const pan offset, store dot use pan offset. Well, that's wrong. Use pan offset, yeah. Const scale, store dot use scale, const scale, store dot use set scale, and that is it. We have it. By the way, it is we don't want this. We want to use scale offset, and this should be scale offset. So we have all the values over here. We have the canvas points right now, so I'm just simply gonna pass canvas point. They can even be called word point for sure. So now I'm passing this. So right now, if I suppose do a few things here, if I zoom it, and now if I try to erase, it is still not right. So what is the problem? This is fine at 100%, but when I increase it is not right. So what am I missing? So whenever that is being drawn, get a point in shape. Okay, first of all, this is the problem. I should be saving canvas point.x and canvas point.y. This is the thing. And apart from this particular thing, whenever we are checking, so when it comes to checking whether that particular coordinate belongs there or not, so hit test. So do we need to pass canvas point or the coordinates screen point? How are we checking here? Once we get the start point, reload the page. Oh, come on. It is working fine. Alright, it will work fine for sure. So if I just did this and suppose zoomed it a bit, and no way, this is not working well. Eraser, why? What is wrong with the eraser? First of all, we are rendering it, right? When it comes to rendering this, so we have previous points and the canvas point x and canvas point y. So they are the screen to canvas coordinates. Once I'm passing everything, I should definitely be getting there. Once I'm actually getting screen to canvas coordinate, and once this is done, we are checking the point in shape, and that is being checked using the canvas point only. So that is fine as well, and the shape that the points that it has, they are the canvas points too. So when we are checking, it should be fine. So the question is, at 100 level this eraser works great. If we just zoom it, it does not work great. We are still able to draw the things the right way, but we are not able to draw this. This is insane. I am missing something, literally the most obvious thing, and what that could be. The way I am drawing other shapes, like suppose free draw. So where is use free draw? Free draw, free draw, free draw. Sorry, draw. So when it comes to drawing, so we use where is the free draw drawing? This is it. And at that time, what it does is just simply gets the point and get the job done. Same for the eraser as well. So where is eraser? Here it is. When it comes to this, so it just simply gets the eraser points and just simply begins, draws the line, and that is it. And when it comes to this point, just a minute, when it comes to drawing free draw here, so we are getting absolute points. So in free draw, we needed the absolute points because we were storing the relative distance, as simple as that. Okay, but in case of this, we don't really need them. Eraser points we just need, and they are already the exact coordinates. So we are just simply drawing melee lines, and that is it. So what is the problem? Reload it. And especially by default, even zoom controllers are not visible. That's such an insane thing. Okay, this can be fixed anytime, but literally only at 100 it works. And if I just simply move, come back here, now this is how it just simply goes. Got it. I mean, there is something definitely wrong, but what is that? I'm not getting. Because what am I missing? Whenever I'm saving the shapes, I'm saving the eraser shapes, right? So that is mainly getting done after selecting, not selecting, inside a huge canvas eraser. So over here we are getting the canvas coordinates, and when I'm actually getting the canvas coordinates, saving canvas coordinate is okay and it will be visible. Okay, got it. The problem is that we have the canvas coordinates over here. First of all, we have the screen coordinates, then we got the canvas coordinate. That is fine. Not got it. Do we really need to convert those canvas coordinates to screen coordinates while just simply doing that? So in that case, if I use point x and point y, it still does not work, and then hit test will definitely not work at all. So of course I'm gonna be using point. In that case, it is still gonna be problematic. So at 100 everything's gonna be fine, there's no problem as such. But as I increase, and if I draw something, this works great, no doubt, but this will not work. As simple as that. So as my current point is here, I'm seeing it on canvas here. So what is the problem? And what I want, if my current mouse is here, I should be seeing the canvas in here only. So we have to get the screen points, as simple as that. So even if you have stored canvas points, but if you want to get the drawings exactly under the cursor, you need to draw them using the screen coordinates. Am I doing the same thing for pencil? I must be, because without it, it is not possible. So where am I drawing pencil? I'm drawing the pencil. Forget about where am I drawing. Let's go to renderers, and over here I'm just simply getting all the shapes. When I'm actually getting all the shapes, I'm going here, renderer shapes. Once I'm going there, clear canvas, translation, and then we are getting all the shapes in here. And once we are getting all the shapes, draw line of selection, that is fine. Clicking on this, any image, draw image or draw the arrow. When we are drawing that, so we have shape, we are getting point x and y points, and once we are getting x and y points, we are not converting them anywhere. Even when it comes to a rectangle, as we get the points from the shape, we just simply render them here. So what is missing? First of all, the points should be changing, and if I draw them here, so it should be just under this, but it is not. In that case, what is the problem? Come on. Eraser, here it is. First of all, let me use the canvas point, that would be better. So one step back, using canvas point over here. Now I have to check what's the difference, and canvas point will be used for getting the check. So let me do one thing. Whenever we hit test, that simply means whenever mouse down happens, so this particular intersection, sorry, not intersection, interaction. At that time we are getting the point that we got, they were the screen coordinates. And what we did, get shape at point, even at that time they are what, they are screen coordinates. And what are we doing here? What is missing? And why is this working? Hit test. If I go to canvas interaction and over here pointer down, move of course, because we'll be moving that, and if that is equals to select, so we are passing the end point. This end point is nothing but what, get current canvas point. End point is the canvas point, get current, because in here we are using this screen to canvas coordinate. So ultimately the points that we are passing, they are the canvas point itself. Got it? So no need to worry about this. That is what I was thinking, why it's working. It is working because the points, the end point that I am passing, that's nothing but the canvas coordinate. That simply means if that is the canvas coordinate, let's just simply get rid of this. And the same thing is even being done in this particular section whenever we are erasing. So as we are erasing, right, so we are erasing after, not after selecting, we erase when the mouse move happens. So coming back to interaction again, there should be eraser here as well. We pass end point, and that end point is nothing but the canvas coordinate. That is right. Yes, canvas coordinate, that makes sense. So coming back to this, what do we do in here? Once I get the canvas coordinates, first of all I don't need to do it again, because the point that I have, that's already canvas coordinate. That is fine. And this point is nothing but the canvas coordinates. So inside the canvas coordinates, when we are actually checking, so get point in shape, we are directly passing it in here. And in the previous case we were just sort of forwarding it from here. That is also fine. So once get point in shape, we are checking the shape for all. So now how does this look like? When we increase, this looks sort of like this. Not exactly where it should be. So what is the difference when I'm drawing a line and when I'm drawing this? What am I doing when I'm drawing a line? So when it comes to drawing a line, so use interaction. Of course we are drawing the line on, and once we have this, we are calculating the distance. Once we are calculating the distance, we are even updating the drawing points and sort of saving them. So drawing points, okay, they are just simply being saved in a, and once that is done, so render preview shape. So we just simply pass everything in here. Once the value is actually passed in here, we create the shape. When it comes to creating a shape, shape is created for all. I wanna check for free draw. So start X and points, these points come from here, that's fine. Are we normalizing it? Not really, they are not being normalized because that's not even needed. So we are creating a shape. So coming back to this, render preview shapes. Whenever we are rendering preview shapes, we are creating it. Once created, we are rendering the shapes. When we are rendering the shapes, so of course I don't need to have this here. We are clearing it, and the shapes we got here, so we are just simply looping through them, and skip the rendering of the text if the text is being edited, that is fine as well. And if that's equals to free draw, so we got the shape. As we got the shape, we have the points. What kind of points these are? They are of course the relative points. So this is mainly for the dot, and get absolute point. Of course, we got the first absolute point, and then we started looping. We kept getting the absolute point, we kept drawing, so it is working. So ultimately absolute points are being used in here, and as we draw, let me see what reload the page. This works at 100%. It doesn't work whenever it changes redux. So what I have to do in here, that is let me go to the state, and what we have to pin in at this time, only the scale offset changed, even if I'm changing the pan offset. So suppose, so panning changed. As the panning changed, now if I try writing using pencil, everything is fine. If I try using this, it is not fine. Why? It should not be like this. This is the easiest thing ever, but why is this behaving like this? My mouse is here, so when I draw, that's converted into canvas coordinates, and that is being drawn on the canvas. Okay, as I moved the canvas, so the pan offset here, that is where that's being drawn. So that is why I get screen to canvas coordinates, so that if I'm drawing here, in the canvas, coordinates should be saved in such a way so that whenever the canvas gets re-rendered, it comes in here only. Interesting. So the main game is all about coordinates, and I'm missing something. Get current canvas point, get screen to canvas coordinates, event.target, that's also fine. Let's talk about eraser. So the point that I passed in here, they are already absolute points. So the point that I am getting, they are the absolute points, and only absolute points need to be saved. Oh god. Come on, one more time. What are we doing here? We have handle pointer move, mainly talking about pencil right now, ultimately free draw. So when it comes to pointer down, so what are we doing? First of all, we are getting the end point. That's nothing but the run to canvas pointer. That simply means that the point I'm sending in here, they are not the exact ones. but at the end of the day, if I moved the canvas here, so pen offset increased, hence even if I just add something in here, that is sort of gonna be added on the canvas on the right side, and that is why if I do this, it is even visible on the right. So on the canvas that is being drawn there, but the canvas should be moving. The canvas is not moving. That's the problem. The question is, why isn't the canvas moving? Got the answer. The problem is not with the points. The problem is that the canvas is not moving as per the pen offset, and that is mainly because this, whenever we are rendering the shapes, at that time what we are doing, we are translating the things and all, but when we are drawing the shape, drawing the eraser background, at that time I'm not doing that at all. So what I need to do now, interesting question, what I need to do now, either I need to translate right here, or I need to merge the logic so that it just happens automatically. Merging the logic means adding erase logic here, and that's not the best option. So what I can do, the next better thing, that is using when the image, the background is actually being drawn. So in here we need to do this, and that is it. This much should be fine, this much should be fine. We can even start the text from here. Let me see what is happening here. CTX save, that started. We can just simply restore the values at the end so that it doesn't get applied to others, and that is it. Again we'll have to fix this, but we need to pass this. No, but pen offset, that's gonna be point, scale, that's gonna be nothing but number, scale offset, that's gonna be point, cut, here we are, paste it in here. I know this time it's going to be fixed. The simple thing is that you were drawing, the coordinates were right, but you were not moving the canvas, and as the canvas is not moving, of course you will not see the drawings as expected. So the canvas needs to be moving, and we need to do that. So this is it. Once these things are done, so what are we actually doing? As per the pen set, as per the scale, or as per the scale offset, or as per the scale, we are actually translating or scaling the canvas so that the drawings are where they should be. So if there is some pen offset, the canvas should be moving. If there is some scale, the canvas should actually be moving, and that's it. It should be working now. To check this, what can I do? Of course, but before that, wherever draw eraser background is used, where is this used? This is used inside this hook, so not this one. Yeah, this is where it's actually being used. So we actually need to pass more things. Control, not this. I actually need to pass eraser points, and what's the next? CTX ref, eraser points, pen offset, scale offset. That is it. Now to pass these values, I need to have them, and luckily I already have them. No need to do anything else. And as there's no need to do anything else, things should start working as expected. As simple as that. Let's see. Here we are. That's the 100 level. So by default, I don't even see this Why don't I see zoom controllers? Why don't I see zoom controllers by default? Undo, redo, canvas, zoom controllers. Is there any return statement in here? Yeah, if I don't have the canvas, what the hell? Ooh, so if I don't have the canvas, then there's gonna be no point. So I was returning at this level. By default, we don't really have the canvas. The second time we get this. So in that case, that is the problematic thing. If I just simply remove this gets problematic or becomes problematic. Point. And why do we need point here? So that we can just simply pass the points in here. What's the better way to handle this? If the canvas does not really exist, there's actually no need to render this. But if the canvas does exist, then I'm actually getting the canvas as a ref over here. So if I'm actually getting that as a reference variable, so wherever that is used, it's actually used inside this. And what is this? This is the point. Why do we have these points? Canvas width dot divided by 2 and canvas height divided by 2. Why are we having this? Handle zoom and handle. Okay, so whenever we click on the buttons, those buttons should be zooming in and zooming out based on the center of the canvas. That is why it is like that. That's fine. But either I can say they should be zooming by the center or screen height and width. Okay, never mind, let's keep the center here. But the problematic thing is this. So one resolution, what solution can be this. But when I do this, so of course if I reload the page, reading property is null. So it turns out I need to have a if statement here. So if not canvas, in that case I'm gonna just simply return here. But by the time I get the canvas, it should be rendering again. Reload, but it does not render again. It does not mean that we don't get it. It just do not get. It does not re-render. So in that case, right now what am I doing? I'm actually saving the canvas in a ref. So even the next time whenever the value of the canvas changes, it does not appear or reappear. That's the problematic thing. So the another solution can be, that is what? Inside canvas.tsx. So as I got right now, what is happening? The canvas is a reference variable, right? So whenever the value of the canvas is actually changing, the page is not re-rendering. And what is happening in xclide.clone? We reload the page. By default, we have these. As simple as that. So as I have them by default, so what can we do? Let me ask ChatGPT. If I want my page to be re-rendered whenever the canvas gets its value, so should I save canvas in a use ref or in a use state? It depends on whether React needs to know that the canvas changed. For canvas element, you should always use useref. When React mounts canvas.current is populated automatically. You don't need to re-render just because the DOM element became available. Okay, so use effect, and whenever it runs cdx, we get the context as well. When would you use? Only if your UI actually depends on whether the canvas exists, and that's the same thing happening here. So canvas set canvas, and this here set canvas triggers are render, so react can show the toolbar. I would not store the canvas instead. It's gonna be like this. For every hook that needs to know that canvas receives a ref. Let's do one thing. Of course, all the time we'll have canvas in the reference. I like use ref only. The only problem is this, right? Inside zoom controller, whenever the value of this point changes, I do not know, and because of that, I ultimately don't know where is the canvas. So I can have a use effect here. So use effect, and probably this will do the job. So what I'll say, whenever the canvas changes, it comes back. At that time I have to set the value of the point. So in that case I need to have a sort of use state over here. So const set const point. Now what kind of point is this? This is the zoom point, isn't this? This is the center point. Center point set center point. That's gonna be use state. By default the value of x is gonna be y 0, height is gonna be y is gonna be 0. That doesn't really matter, bro. Or it can even be null. Setting it to null isn't a wide choice, or it is. If I'm setting it to null, whenever the value of the canvas changes, it will repopulate that. That's not gonna be a problematic thing. So even if I'm setting it to null, that's fine. So what am I saying? That the type of this is actually gonna be a point, or it can be null, and whenever the value of the canvas changes, so what do we have to do? Set center point. X is gonna be canvas width divided by 2, y is gonna be canvas dot height divided HEIGST height divided by 2. So this is how it's just simply gonna go on, and this is how it's gonna be done. Now here I can check that if I don't have the canvas, in that case you don't have to run. So ultimately I'm gonna return from here, and this point should be center point. Center point. Now the problematic thing is that this center point can be null, so I can have a return statement here. If center point, if it does not exist, in that case you are free to simply return from here. And let's try it. Reload the page. Center canvas. CLG canvas available. Let's try this thing out. So canvas is not available. Fine. Reload it. Not really, it does not work. What to do so that a use effect runs whenever the value of canvas ref changes? Is that even possible that a ref can trigger use effect? How long will it process? Come on, yeah, that's enough. Too much. It failed. How to trigger a use effect using the value of use ref? Well, it's not really gonna be possible. Let's simply reload this. I don't know for what region it is behaving. So, how to trigger a use effect using the value of use ref? Can it do it today? I could have written it by now. Yeah, forget about this. Stop. Okay, this is fine. You can't directly trigger use effect by changing use ref. React does not track changes to this, so this won't work. Ha. So React never this here. Huge callback refs best for DOMs. Okay, fine. So huge callbacks refs best for DOM. If you want to know when DOM use callback and what is this? Use callback node element. It takes another use effect to type something set canvas node. This is the recommended solution. Store it in state. So the second way is that storing it in the state. Forget about the state. Let's focus on this. So that is that canvas ref is actually gonna be equals to use callback, and that will have a callback set canvas node and the second thing is do it directly trigger with another state. If you want to re-render whenever the canvas becomes available, use callback ref. I am going to re-render it directly. The thing is this. I'm inside zoom control, right? So what am I gonna do? Of course, I don't want to have this particular check here. That simply means I want it to be available by default, to be visible by default. In that case, these values are somewhat being passed here, right? The point is actually being passed. So I can have a check here that if I have the canvas, in that case the value is gonna be this, otherwise the value is gonna be null. As simple as that. It doesn't really matter like what the value is. It is okay, the value cannot really be null, so in that case x is gonna be null, y is gonna be null. Any problem as such? Okay, fine. The zoom value can actually be null. So the value that I'm actually getting, the point can let's do one thing. The point can actually be null. Let's calculate it like this. So over here I'm actually gonna set the value to be null, sort of like this, and I'm just simply gonna pass points from here, and just in here if I don't have the canvas, I'm gonna return it, or if I don't have the point, I'm gonna return it, and this will solve my issue. Now let's check this thing out. Reload it. By default it is visible. The only thing is that just a sec, reload this. I'm not able to zoom in and zoom out, but once I click on this I'm able to. So in that case already if I don't have the canvas, I just simply return, and if I actually have the canvas, that's do I really need to pass the point, because we already have the canvas in here. Point x and point y. Fine, this is grade 2. Coming back to this point x, canvas dot width divide. Alrighty, this works. That's what I wanted. We have fixed this. So ultimately, checking the canvas directly inside that, if that does exist, that's great. If that doesn't exist, no need to worry about that at all. And we fixed this. No problem as such. What is this now? Required one argument but got two. Haha. Okay. Good. Good job. So in that case, what am I gonna do? Handle wheel, I'm just simply getting the current coordinates, and after that over there we are either zooming and all. So in that case, let me do one thing. And now if I have the point, then that's great, otherwise this is gonna be alright. So if I have the point, that is amazing. If I don't have the point, then the value of that point is gonna be this. Crazy. In that case, this is gonna be zoom point. Tring, 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 tring. Okay, reload it. Why is it just simply loading? Let's just simply run this again. And what am I missing this time? Canvas 500, that simply means there are issues. Okay, there are no issues as such. So we should be able to zoom in, we should be able to zoom out, we should be able to draw, paint and all. Oh, that's fine as well. Come on. Okay, now if we want, we can resize them as per the need. That's okay, that it just simply works. And we can delete, trim. Ha! That is something good. The only thing is that if I move it really fast, well, it gets deleted. Wow! We fixed this as well. How it got fixed? I don't know. We did something. So ultimately, forget about this. It doesn't really matter. We can delete it. So suppose we have these, right? The main problem was that if I was moving it really fast, that wasn't deleting. Okay, it doesn't delete as well right now. I thought I fixed this. Yeah, it's not really getting deleted, but don't worry, even if you remove it slowly, that's gonna be deleted. We'll figure it out, especially what could be the reason behind it, but overall it works great. And we can even get the image. In future I'm thinking of adding the video. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but we'll see. There is a way, like the video is gonna be played in the background, only the images are gonna be displayed over here, just really quickly. So that is how it can be implemented, but we'll see whether that's actually gonna be good or not. As for this, we can even make it bigger in the sense, let's increase the radius of it. So the draw eraser that we actually have here, so I'm gonna make it 10 around. Yeah, reload it. Cling, 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 cling. Delete everything around this and cling, cling. It's too much anyway. Let's make it 8. Fine as well. So if we have, okay, I haven't selected many images for a long time, so let's just simply select as many as I feel like. These are the images that we got here, so we can just simply resize them as per the need. Or what we can do, that this is the first image, this is the second image, then this is the benefit of having infinite canvas. Third image, fourth one, I'm just simply playing right now. The benefit, I'm trying to show the benefit of having the infinite canvas. This, there are few more things here. They can be like this, few more things I can keep them here. Probably there's one more. So let's keep some more things in here, and probably in here we can say hello. It's better to write well. How are you doing? It's better to zoom it, and probably I like that becomes problematic in that case. Yeah, it gets back. We have to fix this particular thing, like the way we are just simply handling the zooming and all. And apart from this particular thing, everything else seems to be, what is this? This line is fine, we can simply draw it like this, and we can draw the, wow, something is missing, bro. What's that? We'll see what is that, but overall the missing thing is that yeah. So what is happening over here, that whenever you are moving something or in all, so after that if you directly click something, if something is selected, that simply means the start point is there. So as soon as you select a shape, that start point remains there. So the thing that you have to focus on that is the resetting everything when you click the and select any tool. So that particular thing needs to be reset, otherwise you will be getting shapes like this. Anyway, don't know how many years I'm gonna be getting, but overall this is how it looks like. You have many things on there over here, and if you don't really like them, you can zoom them as much as you want. It will just simply keep going on and on and on and on. You can even reset by one click, and if you really want to delete, tring 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 tring. Okay, everything's gone. Okay, so this is how it just simply works on this one as well. The next thing that I'd like to do here, that is fixing or resetting everything whenever any tool is selected. Okay, how can we do that? So whenever I'm selecting any tool, that simply means tool is I can actually have a use effect. Okay, use canvas context. Whenever I select any tool, all the states need to be reset. Yeah, that is right. So whenever I have this pointer state, and I'm just simply returning them from here. So why not use the use effect in here? And whenever I'm actually selecting any tool, are you sure? Let me think. Whenever we select a tool, at that time, let's see what all should become. What select tool? Do I have it here? I don't have it. So const selected tool, and that's gonna be used. Selected tool. That's right. Here we are, and I'm gonna be just running this. And what all do we need to do? Is pointer down ref needs to be first start point null, last point null, drawing points ref null whenever we are changing. Empty array is panning false. Okay, that's fine. Pan start mouse ref null, pan start offset can be null as well. Is resizing false, resizable handle ref dot current, that's gonna be null. Font size dot current, that's gonna be null. Because we are that's the resize start font size, so that's fine. And resize start bounds, they are also gonna be null, so that's gonna be null. And we have lastly line resize state ref dot current, that's gonna be null. We have more dot current, that's gonna be an array, empty array. Pointer down time, so is dragging ref. Alright, it's been quite a lot. Let's see whether the issue that I had that gets resolved or not. The issue was this, that I drew this, then I selected this. Once I selected this, of course I moved here and all, that's fine, but starting is already there, right? So if I try to draw again, it was sort of being drawn automatically, but that's not happening right now, and that's what I wanted. Right now, as for deleting this, of course we can delete them. Congratulations, we've gone through this. The next thing, that is how long has it been? It's been 1 hour. I'm gonna take a break for a while, and the next time what I'm gonna do, that this text related stuff, it works here great. What is the problem? The problem is that it worked fine, didn't it? Just a sec. Yeah, so it is working fine. The only thing is that height and width, that's not okay. It's easy. Just a sec. So the height and width that we get in here, so tring, and height is gonna be equals to height, and width is gonna be equals to width. What is happening over here, that as we zoom, so the height and width, they automatically increase by the zoom level. How do they increase? That is a text. So as I'm scaling it, the height and width of the text, they are automatically, not automatically, I have what they are automatically increasing, because of course you are increasing that, right, for that region. And if you are actually saving something, so when you are saving, so at that time you are converting the width. How are we doing that? Whenever we save it, so if the height, when it comes to the height and width, just a sec, I'm not sure about this particular thing. So ultimately, whenever we are saving any text, so we are dividing it by scale, so that it is not that the width and height is not increased, as simple as that. And by default, width and height are increased, but why? The question is this. I'll have to have a look at the logic. There are so many things I even forget sometimes, like, okay, I implemented this, but where is this even being implemented? Never mind. So the thing is that when I zoom in, and at the time I save a text, okay, so as the value of the text gets saved, the page gets re-rendered. As the page gets re-rendered, yeah, so what is actually happening, that suppose by default the size here, size of the ultimately font size, okay, so by default the font size that I actually have, let me just zoom it, yeah, that's problematic thing, but okay, never mind. By default the font size that I have, come on, yeah, so by default the font size that I have, that is 20, right? So as I zoom in, is still the font size is still 20. That doesn't mean the font size actually changed, right? But as it is zoomed in, so because of that thing, it seems to be bigger. Now if I add another shape in here, so as I'm adding this particular shape, it even this particular one has font size 20, but as I scaled, so what I want, that the font size of this one should automatically be decreased, because if it doesn't decrease, it will be as big as this one. So this one is going to be as big as this. So what I want, the font size of this should be decreasing as per the scaling value, and that is why we are just simply dividing everything by the scale. But apart from this particular thing, if I'm just simply this thing is not working quite well. That is good. If I just simply try to move it, even while moving it seems great, but the way I cannot make it lesser than that. Okay, initially I had a logic. Where do I have that logic? I don't know. But I said that the value of whenever we are resizing, yeah. So whenever we are resizing, so resize the text. At the time I set a condition here, that is update max of the font size can be this much, and I cannot afford this. So in that case, let's just simply get rid of this logic. The size of the font can be any except negative. Come on, 1. get the max value. Okay, so if I just simply try to have something here, yeah, it can be only this. Let me take the example of this. What happens here? Yeah, it actually becomes 0. Does it become 0 here? No, that doesn't become 0. Max can be 0. Let me see what's gonna happen in my case. Okay, never mind. It is, the font size actually becomes 0 at the end of the day, so that's not bad at all. And this is how the things are actually getting done. But there is one thing, that is suppose I'm here, I wrote something and this looks like this, and any problem? No problem, it's fixed. Come on bro, you got to be kidding me. Even if I zoom, doesn't matter how much for that sake. When I'm gonna get the text again, I can just simply double click and I can say hi there, and you will only see hi there, and the size of that hi there will only be this much. Can you get the idea? And that hi there will be gone. Just a minute, let me zoom it as much as I can. Tring, 60, 60, 70, 80. How much can it be zoomed? Yeah, till 1000. Hello? Yeah, that works great. Now the only thing is that as it is this much zoomed, the padding that it will have, that is, what the hell? How did it become this bigger? Probably it got zoomed. I can delete it. I have to fix that. Okay, sorry. This is my eraser. The width of the eraser should not be dependent on the scale. So we have to divide the width of the eraser by the scale. Means wherever I have कहाँ गया भाई, text, font, draw. We are drawing the eraser, here it is, eraser, here it is. We have what? We have line width. What I have to do? I have to divide it by scale. By default, the scale is 1, so that's gonna be 8. As the scale increases, the size of that should remain the same. That simply means if I come back here and if I try to have a look over here. The zoom is 1000%, but still my eraser's background looks such cool. It's not that cool anyway, but okay, it looks great. So this particular thing is done. What is the next thing? The next thing is that double click. I'm just simply writing something in here. Did you get that? Okay, if you zoom, it's gonna be zooming really quickly. But I clicked this, then I double clicked and I started typing, and that's amazing. Even if that is erased, I should not be working anyway. That's bad. Even if that erase is selected, when you click, you start typing and then you start moving it here and there. So what could be the logic in here, bro? The logic in here could be that if erase is selected, even if I'm double clicking, nothing should be happening. In that case, whenever I double click, if the selected tool is scale, I don't have to do anything. Where am I double clicking? Of course, when it comes to, I don't know, yeah, for text. So text editing, logic in here, logic of double clicking. Yeah, double click logic. Let me get the selected tool in here. So hello, I already have, I don't have. So I don't have pointer if that's not really needed, so let's get rid of that. Const selected tool, that's gonna be store dot selected tool, use selected tool, this one. Once we have the selected tool, what we want, that bro, even if you are double clicking, but if Yeah, if you are double clicking, great, you should, but or if the selected tool triple equals to eraser, in that case I'll return from here. Once I return, you will not be able to set the value of text editing state. Once it gets the value text, once the value is set, text area appears. Now this is really a bad logic. I should not be making my text area be dependent on this, so we are gonna be working on this. This is gonna be a to do, rather I'm gonna be having is editing. As for right now, replace the logic of replace the job of this with is editing or is text editing. So this is gonna be even better. Whether it has the value or not, that doesn't really matter. Only when I have this or text editing state. If I have the text editing state, I'm rendering that. Both the ways are possible. I don't really have any problem with this. If I have the text editing state, that simply means I'm editing. Without editing, how can I have the text editing state? So this is sort of fine as well. For now, later we'll see. Let me see. Ask ChatGPT. I have text editing state, and on the basis of it, I am rendering text area. Should I create another state like is text editing, or just use text editing state object? Hey, are you gonna tell me something, bro? Hello. Just in? Don't I have network? I do have it. Oh, what is the problem? In your just use text editing state. There's really no need for a separate text in boolean. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, bro. Thank you very much. If you want a more readable variable within the component, why avoid a separate is testing state? Is editing. Oh yeah, we can just simply keep it. So ultimately what you can do that instead of having this, you can have is editing is gonna be equals to, if that's not equals to null, then that's simply gonna be editing. If you do this and this, you have two pieces of state representing the same thing. They can get out of sync, and that is why we should not do that. Great job. We have sort of handled this case as well. This one. Now implement undo redo, add multiple selections, enable lock feature, implement features, blah blah. Don't have a look at the to-dos. There are many. Anyway, so far we've done this much, and if I just simply zoom in, let's go back to 100. Well, the shapes are here. Let me delete them. Everything's deleted. Everything. Okay, that's what I wanted. I'm gonna be catching up soon. Gonna have some food, and then after that I'll be back and continue from here on. Until then, bye bye, take care, and see you.